Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. We are studying chapter number 13, biochemistry. Up till now you have studied different types of macromolecules like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These macromolecules are very important for the body as they are necessary for the energy production for the body. Besides these macromolecules, there are some other substances which are also necessary for normal growth and functioning of the body but are required in very less amount. These substances are known as vitamins. Vitamins are non-caloric micronutrients. Non-caloric means that they do not have any role in energy production for the body and they are required in very less amount, that's why known as micronutrients. As they are needed in very small amount but they are important for normal growth and functioning of the body. Due to this property that they are necessary for normal growth and functioning of body, these vitamins are also known as accessory growth factors. Hopkins was the scientist who in 1912 first noticed that in addition to carbohydrates, proteins and fats, there are some other substances which are needed for normal growth and functioning of the body. These substances were required in very less quantity but still are very important. That's why these are named as accessory growth factors. Later on, Funk was also a scientist who proposed the name to these substances as vitamins. He also discovered vitamin B1, which is known as thiamine. Now, on the basis of the solubility, vitamins are divided into two types, fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. Those vitamins which dissolve in fats are known as fat-soluble vitamins. They include vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. Whereas those vitamins which dissolve in water are known as water-soluble vitamins. It includes vitamin B complex, which further includes 10 vitamins, and vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. Now we will discuss these two types of vitamins in detail. Now first type is fat-soluble vitamins. Those vitamins which dissolve in fats or soluble in fats are known as fat-soluble vitamins. These are vitamin A, D, E and K. These fat-soluble vitamins can be stored in the body and their storage occurs in liver and fat tissues of the body. Due to their storage, this storage in the body decreases the risk of deficiency of fat-soluble vitamins inside the body. But their overconsumption can lead to toxicity. So these fat-soluble vitamins must be taken in required amount, whereas if taken in excess amount, their accumulation can cause diseases. For example, you know very well about vitamin D, very important for the body, and if they are not taken in required amount, its deficiency can cause diseases. Whereas if vitamin D can be taken in large amount, its accumulation in the body can result in bone pain and bone-like deposits in the kidneys. So the vitamins are required in specific amount for the proper functioning of the body. Here we will discuss some important fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A is present in dairy products, egg, oils and fats, and fish. It is also present in the form of beta carotene, which is obtained from green vegetables, carrots and liver. This vitamin A is important to maintain the health of epithelium of the cells inside the body. It is also helpful for a person to act on retina's dark adaptation mechanism, means due to presence of proper amount of vitamin A in the body, person is able to see properly at night time during dark. The deficiency of vitamin A in the body can result in night blindness, means a person is unable to see at night, and eye inflammation or some diseases of the eyes. Second important fat-soluble vitamin is vitamin D. Vitamin D is present in fish liver, dairy products, oils and fats, and it is also a special type of vitamin which can be formed in the skin of the person when the skin is exposed to sunlight. Vitamin D is very important for the body as it has a role in absorption of calcium in the body. As you know, calcium and vitamin D both are essential for the healthy growth of bones. The deficiency of vitamin D in the body results in a disease known as rickets. Rickets is a skeletal disorder caused by the lack of vitamin D, calcium and phosphate. People with rickets have weak and soft bones, stunted growth and skeletal deformities. Stunted growth means improper growth and changes in their skeleton. So vitamin D is very important for the normal growth and functioning of the bones. So these are fat soluble vitamins, and I hope you are able to understand about the fat soluble vitamins. Now watch the video for better understanding of fat soluble vitamins.
Vitamins are important micronutrients required by our body for many cellular functions, which plays multiple roles in growth and maintenance of the body. About 75% of the Indians today have one or the other form of vitamin deficiency, and usually most of the vitamins are not synthesized in the body and needs to be balanced through dietary intakes. Vitamins are categorized into water-soluble and fat-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins are transported to the cells via body fluids and are not stored by the body. They consist the vitamin B complex group and vitamin C, whereas A, D, E and K are grouped as fat-soluble vitamins as they are stored in the liver and adipose fat tissues when not used. Vitamin A1 is required for strong teeth and bones, maintaining healthy eyes and to boost immunity, and is said to have anti-cancer properties. Its deficiency causes night blindness and malnutrition. Vitamin D2 is well known to ensure bone health and absorption of calcium and phosphorus by the body. Its deficiency causes rickets, osteomalacia, metabolic disorders, etc. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant and protects the body from damage caused due to free radical exposure. It also helps to prevent heart disease as well as cancer. Its deficiency causes hemolytic anemia, delayed immune response, etc. Vitamin K plays a crucial role in wound healing. Its deficiency causes delayed wound healing and hemorrhage. Anything in excess is not good. So excess levels of vitamins, hypervitaminosis, can equally have bad effects on the body.
Assalamualaikum students. This is the continuation of your previous lecture. In previous lecture, you have studied about the fat-soluble vitamins, some important types of fat-soluble vitamins. Now in this video, we will study water-soluble vitamins. Those vitamins which dissolve in water are known as water-soluble vitamins. It includes vitamin B complex, which further includes 10 vitamins, and vitamin C, which is also known as ascorbic acid. Water-soluble vitamins cannot be stored in the body, and these vitamins can be excreted from the body if not used or present in the excess amount. So that's why their consistent intake is required by the body. These water-soluble vitamins are not toxic if even taken in large amount because they can be excreted from the body if present in excess amount. Water-soluble vitamins are necessary for proper body metabolism. Metabolism is a term used to describe all the chemical reactions which takes place in the body. These includes breakdown of large molecule into smaller ones and also formation or synthesis of large molecules from simple substances. So vitamins are important for the metabolism of body. Deficiency of water-soluble vitamins can cause different diseases. Now here we will discuss some types of vitamin B complex and also vitamin C. First one is vitamin B1, which is also known as thiamine. Thiamine or vitamin B1 is present in yeast, egg yolk, liver, wheat, nuts, red meat and whole cereals. This vitamin B1 is important for carbohydrate metabolism in the body, means breakdown or formation of carbohydrates is done in the body with the help of vitamin B1. Deficiency of vitamin B1 in the body can cause fatigue, irritability. Irritability is a condition in which person becomes frustrated, irritated or upset easily. Loss of appetite mean person don't want to eat anything. Second type of water-soluble vitamin is vitamin B2, also known as riboflavin. Vitamin B2 is present in liver, egg, fruits and yeast. This vitamin B2 is important for intercellular metabolism of the body. Deficiency of vitamin B2 results in glossitis, which is also a tongue inflammation. Third important vitamin B is vitamin B12. It is present in liver, red meat, dairy products and flesh of animals. This vitamin B12 is important for the manufacture of genetic material in the body. It also produces white blood cells in the body. Deficiency of vitamin B12 in the body results in anemia and retarded growth. Retarded growth means that improper growth or lack of proper growth. Another type of water-soluble vitamin is vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is present in green vegetables and citrus fruits. It is important to maintain the health of bones, teeth, gums and ligaments. The deficiency of vitamin C in the body causes a disease known as scurvy, which includes bleeding of gums. So in this way, water-soluble vitamins are also important for the body. Now you can watch the video for better understanding of water-soluble vitamins.
Water-soluble vitamins are a group of vitamins that dissolve in water and are thus transported to various body parts. Although these vitamins are easily carried, they are not stored in the body. Their important micronutrients and its deficiencies are linked with multiple disorders as well as preterm birth, low birth weight, and fetal defects. The water-soluble vitamins include vitamin B complex and vitamin C. Vitamin B complex group further constitute two vitamins, namely B1, thiamine, aids in nervous system development and its deficiency causes beriberi. B2, riboflavin. It is important for RBC formation and iron metabolism. Hence, its deficiency causes anemia. B3, niacin. It helps to protect the heart by reducing bad cholesterol, that is low-density lipoprotein levels. B5, pantothenic acid. It helps in production of stress and sex hormones and has anti-aging properties. B6, pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. It strengthens immune system and its deficiency is associated with anemia as well as skin disorders. B7, biotin. It plays a role in maintaining good skin and nails. B9, folic acid. It plays crucial role in RBC synthesis and hence its deficiency causes anemia. It is a major requirement for a pregnant woman to avoid brain and spinal cord defects in their unborn fetus. B12, cobalamin. It helps in RBC formation and nervous system development. Its deficiency leads to anemia, depression, and dementia. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is associated with maintaining bones, cartilage, teeth, immune system, formation of collagen, absorption of iron, and wound healing. Its deficiency causes scurvy, connective tissue defects, impaired wound healing, malnutrition, etc. Around 73% of this vitamin comes from fruit and vegetable intake. Prolonged vitamin deficiency can lead to irreversible damage to the body.
Now comes to the importance of vitamins. Vitamins are very important for the body as they are known as accessory growth factors, but they are needed in very small amount by the body. The first importance is they have an important role in healthy development of the body. Each vitamin plays an important role in healthy development of body. Number 2, natural vitamins are organic substances and found only in plants and animals. These are not synthesized by the body, so these vitamins must be supplied directly through diet or can be taken by dietary supplements. These vitamins are absolutely necessary for normal growth of the body. Vitamins cannot be assimilated without ingesting food, means cannot be digested and absorbed by the body properly without food. That's why they must be suggested that vitamins must be taken with the diet. These vitamins helps to regulate the body metabolism. So I hope you are able to understand the topic of vitamins in a good way. Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and able to understand the chapter in a good way with the help of these lectures. Today is the last lecture of this chapter and it is an information in your book at page number 111 about the enzymes. It is the commercial uses of enzymes. Before the start, we will discuss what are enzymes. Enzymes are the substances produced by living organisms which acts as a catalyst to bring about specific biochemical reactions. Normally, enzymes work inside the body on different biochemical reactions, and they can facilitate or speed up the biochemical reactions takes place in the body. But sometimes when biochemical reactions has to perform outside the body, enzymes can also be used to facilitate those reactions. Here we will discuss the commercial uses of different enzymes, that how these enzymes play an important role in the industry. Number 1 is the enzymes present in yeast are diastase, invertase and zymase. Yeast are commercially used during the fermentation of molasses and starch. Molasses is a thick dark brown juice obtained from raw sugar during the refining process. It contains carbohydrates. Similarly, starch is also carbohydrate. So, carbohydrate converts into ethanol, which is a type of alcohol, by the process of fermentation. And yeast is an enzyme used during the fermentation of molasses and starch to produce ethanol, which is a type of alcohol. Fermentation is the chemical breakdown of a substance by the help of bacteria, yeast, or other microorganisms. It involves effervescence or production of bubbles with the evolution of carbon dioxide gas and give off heat. So during the process of fermentation of molasses and starch, the ethanol, which is a type of alcohol, is produced, and during this process the enzymes diastase, invertase and zymase work, which are present in the yeast. Number 2, microbial enzymes are used in detergents. Microbial enzymes means those enzymes which are obtained from microorganisms. They can use in detergents for the better cleaning of clothes. Lipase is an enzyme which decomposes fats into more water-soluble compounds, and as a result, it helps in the removal of fat stains. Similarly, amylase helps in the removal of starch-based stains. Cellulase breaks down or degrades cellulose to glucose. Cellulase is normally work on the cellulose. Cellulose is present in grassy or green leaf stains which cannot be removed easily from normal detergents. So the detergents containing cellulase can easily work on cellulose to remove the grassy stains. Bacterial protease break down protein stains on the clothes. Bacterial protease means that enzyme protease which is obtained from the bacteria, and it removes or breaks down protein stains from the clothes. In this way, enzymes containing detergents can cleave effectively and remove all stains and dirts from the clothes. Number 3, enzymes are used in the purification of fruit juices. They are added to fruits that can be crushed like grapes. This increases the yield of the juice extracted by removing the suspended particles, and it also improves the color which is due to the fruit skin. So in this way, enzymes used in fruits can improve the yield and color of the juice. Number 4 is the amylase, is an enzyme used in bread making because they can yield more starch of the flour. Amylase, when used in bread making as an additive to improve the conversion of complex sugars such as starch into simple sugars like glucose. So, they are efficient even to convert starch to sweet glucose syrup, and this can be used as a sweetener in the food as well as in bread making. Number 5, lactase is an enzyme which is used to increase the sweetness in ice cream. As you know, lactose is a carbohydrate which is present in milk, and by the breakdown of lactose, it converts into galactose and glucose. So, by the breakdown of lactose by an enzyme lactase, lactose converts into galactose and glucose, which are more sweeter than the lactose. That's why lactase is used to increase the sweetness in ice cream. Number 6 is in the dairy industry use of enzyme. Some enzymes are used in dairy industry for the production of cheese, yogurt, and other dairy products. Some enzymes can also be used to improve the texture and flavor of the products. So, in dairy industry, enzymes can easily use to improve the texture, color, and flavor as well as for the production of different dairy products. I hope with the help of this lecture, you are able to understand about the commercial uses of enzymes.